Now, let's go through Yul-Gok Tul. Now, the first move here. What is it? What's it doing? First of all, let's talk about the motion. It's natural motion, which means instead of trying to execute, instead of accelerating on the final quarter of the move, we are just bringing it straight up into the final position. Okay, so what we're not trying to do is put an arc upwards and out. We're not trying to plateau it here, but what will happen is, because the movement of my legs is here into sitting stance, then naturally my shoulder will come from where it is static in space and it will drop down. Okay, so it may seem like that, but what you need to do is just pick it straight up and into a position where it needs to be. Of course, on the shoulder line, it's level with the top of your shoulder, and what you're doing is you're lining up for the next punch. Here, all the way through. Natural motion. So in Yul-Gok we have our first hooking block. Now there are two purposes to hooking block, two applications, the primary one of which is probably not quite what you'd expect. So when you're coming forwards, the primary application is actually an outer forearm block, but it's not high impactive. If you're doing a technique high impactive, the aim is to crush or smash bone or whatever else it is, and we're using a tool that can do that, but we're taking it down to low impactive. It doesn't mean we lose all of the snap, it doesn't mean we lose any of the rotation, it just means we're taking 10-15% off the power that we would normally put in. We keep the speed as it is, just not trying to force it as much as we would do previously. Now what that means here is the arm should stay close. We're blocking a punch coming forwards generally, and you're not knocking the arm away anymore, you're pushing it away. The secondary application of this technique is once this arm is onto chest line, then the hand can come up and over, and you're placing your thumb on one side of the incoming fist and your fingers on the other. That will enable us to grab and pull, which is a great technique if you want to pull onto a side kick, for example, or perhaps forwards into a knee or a front kick. You can use that in 2-step, 3-step, self-defense, whatever else you think it's appropriate for. Here, this is the block. Okay, we also have from here up and down in connecting motion. Now when you're doing this, you want to be up here and your hips come to reverse half facing, which means they're 45 degrees off towards your closed side, towards your front leg. This way, reach forward with the front shoulder and then drop, and as it drops you pull back and you pull onto that punch here. Okay, if you want to learn more about connecting motion, there's a video about that as well. Probably two of the trickiest moves in Yul-Gok are from Gaburyo-Sogi, this side kick, rotate, and then an elbow strike. Now what you are not doing, and I absolutely hate, is you are not pulling this hand to the elbow. The purpose of this hand is to provide a target for you to strike into, which means if you're moving the target, you're not doing this correctly. Okay, let's have a look through. Here, make sure from Gaburyo-Sogi, you're rotating the standing foot on the floor, the hands cross, and they punch out over the technique. The important thing here is to pull this knee back in. If you pull this knee back in, rotate your standing foot back to 45, then you'll be able to position to deliver straight forward again. Otherwise, you're going to be in big trouble because you're trying to pull your body weight around here as you go into walking stance. It'll look messy, it'll look a bit like this. Okay? Just get that weight onto that right leg, get your hips at 45, pick up and down. Don't rush the sine wave or it'll come out looking awful. Here, elbow strike. So you're using the upper elbow, which is this part. It comes from the edge of your elbow and it's just a couple of inches towards your arm here, and it's striking into the palm of the opposite hand here, and the fingertips will remain straight out. We're not wrapping around with them here because again it is a target. Our target does not mold to our attacking tool. Our attacking tool is used into the target.